Hello everyone, welcome to this presentation. My name is Dr. Tariq Omar and I'm going to present my paper, a new safety climate assessment tool for Gulf construction. So the content of my presentation will include introduction and literature review. I will explain the research methodology, then I will discuss about the result and analysis. Uh, I will also highlight the structure of the tool which we have developed, and then we will have a discussion and conclusion section. And there is also a section on further research and recommendation. References are also included on one slide, and then of course there will be an opportunity for a question and answer session at the end of the whole session. So a brief outline of the introduction and literature review. We already know that construction is one of the most hazardous industries, and if we look at the statistic of the International Labour Organization, which indicate that every year around 100,000 workers die on construction site, which is equal to 274 deaths per day, which is quite alarming, or you can say quite high. Similarly, we all know that construction is also a major industry, providing jobs to many people, and particularly in the GCC region, currently it is at peak. But the problem in the GCC region is that the health and safety in construction sector is quite alarming. It's not quite satisfactory. So just to give an example of one of the project, which is the World Cup football, which is supposed to be held in Qatar. So on the project, around 1,200 workers are already died, and it is expected that the death score will reach to 4,000 at the end of the project. Also, another factor related to the GCC construction. So if you look at to the region, so more than 90% worker working in the construction sector are foreigner, and majority of them are from Asian countries. So as I mentioned that the safety in the GCC region in the construction sector is not quite satisfactory, and there are different methods which can be employed to improve the safety performance at construction site, and one of these methods is the safety climate approach. So the process of safety climate approach is quite simple. The researchers have concluded that a mature safety climate and a rich safety culture contribute to achieving a safe workplace. So that is the whole concept. So if we have a rich safety culture, it will improve the safety performance of the organization, or you can say the project. There are already many safety climate assessment tools developed, but most of them are focused on, they are developed in other developed countries, or you can say advanced countries. And even in those countries, on the construction was not the base of those tools basically. So the tools was basically developed focusing on other industrial sector. So the main goal of this research is to develop a safety climate assessment tool for construction organization, which can be used in Oman and other GCC countries. So to achieve the aim and objective of this research, we have used both qualitative and quantitative research approach. Um, I can, if I want to explain the research approach which we have used, so it can be easily divided into three stages. So in the first stage, we have done the systematic review to take the safety climate factors which has been used in the existing safety climate assessment tool. In the second stage, what we have done, we have developed a questionnaire considering those factors which has been extracted from the existing literature. So we have incorporated that factors in a tool, and then we have collected the data from uh, the construction sector, considering the organization which are registered as excellent grade with the tender board of Oman. We have considered the population, which include the construction manager, construction engineer, site supervisor, foreman, and worker. So the questionnaire was uh, it was a simple questionnaire it was having 11 section, and majority of the section was required to be answered on a Likert scale. So based on the stage 1 and stage 2 result, we have developed a safety climate assessment tool, and then in stage 3 we have validated the tools through email interview with the construction professional. So this slide basically describes the protocol which has been used in the systematic review. So you can see the keywords and the period which we have used, and also the database which we have searched for extracting the safety climate factor. So overall, this stage 1 basically given us a total of 8 safety climate factors which has been used in different safety climate assessment tools. So based on these 8 safety climate factor, we have then developed the questionnaire. So that questionnaire was then used to collect the data. So it's basically to ask the construction professional what is their thoughts on these safety climate factors. For example, that how much these factors can be relevant to be incorporated in a safety climate assessment tool. So this slide presents the resultant analysis of stage 2, the resultant analysis which is coming from the questionnaire which we have used. So what we have done, we have distributed a total of 290 questionnaire to 4 main construction organizations. We received 102 field questionnaire and the response rate was 37.17. 4 questionnaire were rejected because of different reasons. To ensure that our data, the data which we have collected through the questionnaire is reliable, we have done a number of statistical tests. Like for example, we have calculated the ratio between skewness and its standard error for age, which was 0.59. Similarly, the ratio between the kurtosis and its standard error for age was 1.24. And since both of the ratios were less than 1.96, so we concluded that yes, our data is reliable. Similarly, the internal reliability was also checked through Cronbach alpha, which is found to be equal to 0.630. Likewise, Spearman correlation coefficient was also calculated, and it was found at different considering different factors, like for example, the position of the respondent, their age, their qualification, experience, and of course their countries as well, and it was compared with the 8 safety climate factors. So as I mentioned in the introduction, that majority of the construction worker are basically from different countries. So the people who participated in the studies were almost foreigners. So all the respondents those who has participated in the study were from different Asian countries, and you can see in the table that the mean score for different safety climate factors which has been used in the questionnaire has been ranked based on their mean score. So based on the importance of these safety climate factors, what we have done, we have considered all the factors which has a mean score greater than 3. We have considered them in our new safety climate assessment tool. So based on the questionnaire data, what we have done, the tool which we have developed, it has a total of 7 factors, safety climate factors included in this new tool. And the new tool which we have developed, it include 9 main parts. So 2 of them are related to personal and background information of the respondent, and the last one is related to uh, an open-ended question. If let's say the participant want to provide some feedback or some comments, so that can be included in the last part of the questionnaire. And the 7th part of the questionnaire are basically linked with those safety climate factors which we have used in our tool. So all the safety climate factors basically used in the tool, there are sub items, or you can say sub question, which the participant need to answer on a Likert scale of 1 to 5. And those responses, the responses, basically the construction organization or the decision maker need to analyze so that they can understand what is the maturity level of each factor and what they can do to improve the maturity level of those factors which has less maturity level. So this slide basically summarizes the safety climate factors which we have used in the new safety climate assessment tool, and you can see the ranking of all those factors. So this ranking is basically coming from the data which we have collected through our questionnaire. So in terms of conclusion, the new safety climate assessment tool which we have developed, you can say that it is like a continuation of the existing tool, but it's different from the existing tool not only based on the number of factors, or you can say the number of questions which has been used in this tool, but also the ranking of the factors which has been used in this tool. Like for example, management commitment was mostly considered as the top ranked factor in many other tools, but the tool which we have developed, it is ranked as third. Now another factor which is aligning and integrating safety as a value is ranked first in this tool, but in the previous assessment tool it was not directly used. So these are some kind of differences which basically we have consider, or which we have which has been arise from the data which we have collected in the GCC region. So the assessment which will uh, the organization will be able to get from this tool will be useful to develop different types of plan to improve the maturity level of those items which has less maturity level. So when construction organization develop their plan and then they implement that plan, so what they need to do, they need to do another assessment so that they can also see that either their plan was working or not. Similarly, as I mentioned before, that the last stage was basically to validate the tool. So what we have done, we have sent the tools to different construction organizations, to their top, to the uh, decision maker, or you can say the top management, and we receive positive feedback which indicate that yes, this uh, tool basically can serve their purpose of improving safety performance. Okay, so some thoughts on the further research and recommendation. So it is important to monitor the effectiveness of the tool on a long-term basis. Similarly, the GCC construction industry will be more mature in future. So therefore, there should be like a cycle of you can say a review of the tool. So let's say, like for example, after 5 years, the tool need to be reassessed so that it is well aligned to the construction expectation or the maturity of the whole construction industry. Similarly, it is not clear that how small and medium construction organization which has limited resources, how they will be able to get the benefit of this tool. So therefore, further research need to be conducted in this area to know the effectiveness of the tool, considering small and medium construction organization, because in Oman and other GCC country, most of the organization can be classified as small or medium construction organization. Okay, so some references basically used in the presentation. Okay, so this is the last slide. I hope we will have an opportunity for a question and answer session at the end of this session. So if you even also want to write to me, so you have my email address and you can write to me as well. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope we will have a question and answer session at the end of the whole presentation. Thank you very much.